Where are my pants?
I mean, not no underwear. You can wear underwear if you want.
Are we gonna do this?
Aren't you supposed to be in Houston?
I'm not in Houston.
I am Edgar Allan Poe, and you are watching The Garage.
And welcome to The Garage. And I'm D. Yes, I'm sure they can read. That's not what I heard. Thank you, bandwagon boy. Anyway, I'm sure some of you at home are wondering, well, what is The Garage? What's the Phantom? Already?
Yes, boys, it appears there's been another Phantom of Beaumont sighting in Old Town. Now you will go get him and you will bring him to me. You go get him, bring him to me. My bad. False alarm.
Oh, figure. I'm never gonna get to see
Guys,
the Phantom now.
we're gonna do
Look,
this?
it's Mary with Update Your Scene. And I'm sure she's going to update us with something, right, Mary?
Thanks. And yes, I'm here to tell you that Peace in the Chaos came by recently, so let's see what they're doing. I'm Mary with Update Your Scene. This is Peace in the Chaos. Why Peace in the Chaos? Where'd y'all come up with the name?
I was reading an article one time, and Jimmy Page from Zeppelin was talking about how their music had this whole like light and shade kind of aspect to it. You know, some of it's really dark and heavy, some of it's really mellow and kind of peaceful and kind of. So that's kind of where it came from, because we write stuff that's peaceful and then stuff that's more like, you know, darker and chaotic.
How long y'all been together?
A year? About a year, yeah.
Here. What pulled you to the Peace in the Chaos?
Oh, Mr. Blake and I served on a couple of different stages in some of those other bands and developed a really strong friendship over the years. And I had the opportunity of hearing some of his original production, and after listening to it, I'm like, man, why are you sitting on this? Let's do something with it. And we got together and started working on the material with a different bass player. We, thank God, we had the opportunity of connecting with this gentleman whose pedigree is so deep, and his skills are mad, and it's great to share a stage and a studio and a rehearsal hall and a dinner table with these guys. It's always a blast.
He cooks like really good.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, my wife and I had gone to a Mexican restaurant in Orange, Texas to watch this guy play. I didn't know anything about him.
Yep.
A friend of mine had said, "Hey,
local legend, right?
He's a great guitar player. You should go check him out." And I did. And I remember when he opened his mouth and he started singing, I turned to my wife and I said, "This guy's going to be a star." You know, there's just something about the timbre of his voice, something that you can't. You know, it's like teaching a boxer to not have a glass jaw. You can't do that. If the guy's got a glass jaw, he's going to have a glass jaw. And if you don't have that timbre to your voice, you can't replicate it. You can't teach it. It's just something that comes natural. And it was truly organic. And we exchanged phone numbers, and he had known me from some other projects that I had done. Sony Brothers Band and a band called Pound Hound with the bass player from King's X. And
I was a little starstruck actually, because I was fans of all those bands, like the Sonia Brothers. I used to jam like way back in the day and practice too, and then like I was a big fan of Doug Pinnick and stuff. And so when he showed up, I was kind of like, well, I might want to have my A game on, you know. And then we hit it off, you know, musically, and it was like, well, we're kind of from the same cloth musically, so we should play together. He was the first guy I thought of. I'd gotten him to do after we'd met, I had this song that I was working on, and something about the song, I was like, I bet Lynn would sound really good on this. I wonder if he'd play on it. So I sent him an email. I was like, would you be interested in playing on this song? Like, yeah, send it to me. So I sent it to him, and he, you know, loved it and played on it. And a few months later, when our other guy had to back out, I was like, well, you want to come play in the band? And of course, you know, he was like, yeah.
which for me was kind of weird, because I had decided I was done playing in bands. You know, the music industry is a very fickle industry, and you got a lot of friends at one minute, and then the next minute you turn around and all those people that were supposed to be your friends aren't really your friends anymore. And it was kind of disheartening. Hadn't really ever considered playing music again until I met him, and beyond the timbre of his voice and his singing ability, his guitar playing ability is phenomenal. I've been around some guitar players that are considered to be some of the best in the world, Ty Tabor from King's X, and some of those cats, and he falls right into that same mold. And you could teach somebody all day. Again, you could teach them the scales, you can teach them how to play a solo, but you can't teach them to feel it. You can't teach that organic thing that comes from inside when they're playing the guitar and the stretch of the string and how it goes up and down. It has to come naturally, and with him it did right off the bat, and I knew from that point on that this was something I wanted to do full time.
They were awesome guys, really cool people, and coming up they play a song for us, so stay tuned.
It's locked. Vacuum doors don't have locks on the outside.
Back to you guys. Is everything okay?
That's fine.
Weren't there two of you earlier?
Just turn the knob. Thanks, Mary. And coming up, we're gonna check in with Olivia from High Street Gallery and gonna talk to Edgar Allan Poe. Ooh, spooky. God, I'm trying to be scary here.